what we've put together is a program that's really designed to be complementary to what you've just been hearing about from the other folks on this call or on this meeting. And one of the and it's really designed to provide rapid cash flow advances to contractors who are participating in this MCE program. I should mention though that we also do this for more traditional rebate programs around the country. So NEIF, National Energy Improvement Fund, is working with a company called Bright Core Energy, our partner capital provider here to provide these rapid advances. So we are also, by the way, a consumer lender and a commercial lender specialized in this energy efficiency space. We work all over the country. We're a certified benefit corporation, so focused not just on making a profit, but doing good for the world with a real focus on climate change. So let's move to the next slide. So what's the problem that we're solving here? Typically, in fact, in all cases, really, in any pay for performance program, and especially in this case, in the way this one is structured, that pay for performance means that there is a measurement of performance, and the incentive payment is made once that performance has been measured for a period of 12 months. So what we would expect is that this incentive would be paid out approximately 13 months, if you include processing time, after the project has been registered with the program and after it's had a year of savings demonstrated. So that's very important, I think, and as Joey had talked about, is quite important, and Richard had talked about, is really quite important for the way that this is structured, in order to make sure that the MCE and then ultimately PG&E are paying for really demonstrated savings. However, it does present a challenge if you're a contractor and you are waiting for that incentive payment for a 12-13 month period. So what we've developed is a cash flow advance product that accompanies this, that pays a part of that incentive within a week. So that's kind of at the highest level. Let's move, Richard, to the next slide. Very, very quickly, what we're looking at, any contractor that participates in this program, of course, is going to have to be already enrolled with the MCE program. We are a little bit, I don't know whether the word is exclusive, but we try to be very careful about who we work with in terms of contractors. I imagine that anybody who's already participating in this program is going to be well qualified to work with us, but we do have an enrollment process. We make sure that the incentives the individual incentives that we are covering here are $10,000 or greater. We make sure that the rebates are assigned and that there's some type of assignment of that rebate payment to us. And I'll tell you why in a second. And then finally, there needs to be some proof of confirmation. Now, of course, these are already, because we're already well integrated and have been working a great deal with Recurve and with MCE on putting this together. All of these elements are kind of well taken care of in that program design. So let's move on to the next slide. So here is what this is. We've structured this not as a loan. This is very important. We've structured this as a purchase of that incentive. So what does that mean? That means that we are not underwriting every contractor. We are not pulling personal credit. We are not delving deep into financials for each contractor, right? And because it is not a loan, it does also mean that this cash advance really has no impact on your any future borrowing, any future lending or borrowing activity that you want to engage in, right? That's an important part. Now, how do we do that? We do that because we have A, analyzed the risk, and B, we are purchasing this incentive that has been assigned to us. So some of you might be familiar with the term factoring. This is, in a sense, an adaptation of factoring, which is basically the purchase of receivables. It is an adaptation of factoring to the energy business, right? So again, we are purchasing this incentive. We own it. We are advancing cash to you, and but you are not. This is not a loan to you. Move to the next. what is the general structure? It depends a little bit on measures that are being installed and on the types of project and the history of the particular contractor. So what the structure is, we would pay 50 to 75% of the verified incentive amount upfront, right? So by verified, I mean, really, again, we verified that it is a valid incentive. We verified that it has been properly assigned. We verified that there's a reservation, all elements that are built into the MCE program. So that's all good. Why are we not paying 100% upfront? We're not paying 100% upfront because we don't want to, I guess in a word, mess with the MCE structure, the incentives that are kind of built into this program. So it's important that there be some skin in the game for the long run, for the 12, 13 months, that there's some remaining skin in the game for that contractor. Whoops, I'm sorry, one quick thing, if you don't mind just moving back. The second thing is there's going to be, so we're going to pay that 50 to 75% upfront. And then once we receive the payment from MCE, that assigned payment, we're going to pay that remaining amount net of fees. Okay, now we can move ahead. So what does that look like? So again, we've got that 50% of the 75% of the incentive value that we are paying upfront, the rest at the end of that 12 to 13 month period. There is a modest upfront processing fee, and then there is we have structured it as a monthly fee based on the drawn amount. So just imagine if you have drawn $50,000 based on a $100,000 incentive, then that monthly fee is going to be based on that $50,000, that amount that is drawn, right? That amount starts at 0.8% a month. Again, because there are going to be a variety of different types of measures that we are funding, different types of contractors and so on, the actual dollar amounts, the actual percentages will vary depending on risk that's associated with each. Let's move to the next slide. So just very quickly, the steps. One, you do need to become a NEIF approved contractor. So that's fairly quick. You submit the documents that are required to get that approval. Things like there's a W-9 and there's ACH form, that type of thing. And then finally, you essentially begin submitting incentives through the portal that we have, the electronic portal that we have. Move to the next slide. So what typically the timeline is that you upload a request into our portal after you've gone through the approval process by Friday at noon. That money is transferred to your account via ACH, electronic payment, and is typically in your account on the following Tuesday. So move to the next slide. This is just really a sample of what would be required for that upload, and then move to the next one. And that's really it. So we've tried to keep this relatively quick, relatively easy. We've tried to really work very hard with Recurve, with MCE, to really develop something that is tightly integrated into that program. And we are happy to take questions, and as if folks are interested, we're happy to really dive into more depth on this on one-on-one calls. So thanks.